with the deadly years. Star Trek confronts that fear we all have, getting old. And there's really nothing you can do about it. It's gonna happen. Or, yeah, there is a way to avoid it, but yeah. And of course, the ultimate fear is your own mortality. A lot of jokes made about it later because, when the cast ended up doing the movies and stuff, and they didn't really look like what they looked like when they actually did get old compared to how they appeared in this episode. But anyway, it's all very simple. The Enterprise is going to check up on this team on this planet, and when they arrive, there's no one there, and then they find, Chekhov finds this dead body in one of the little space huts they have out there, and scares him to death, and they walk in there, and then there's this just this corpse that's all shriveled up like a prune. And Spock is saying, that's crazy. The average age was, late 20s, early 30s or whatnot. And then two more, this elderly couple shows up, and it's the head of the group or whatnot, and claiming to be 27 when he looks like he's got to be in his 80s or whatnot. And they're all astounded. What's going on? Well, very simple. A strange comet passed by the planet, and it had some bizarre radiation in it. And it causes a disease that looks like advanced aging. So guess what? Yes, McCoy and Spock were going to find the cure. But the overall story is the facing of this fear of it, and then of course Kirk loses what he fears the most is losing his command of the Enterprise, and of course that happens. They have a Commodore on board who they're supposed to deliver to this space station. That's what he does. He's a space station commander. But as a result of this, he realizes under regulations, Kirk is now incapacitated because of his advanced aging, and he initially wants Spock to take command, but Spock is also aging. It's just slower because he's a Vulcan, so his lifespan's longer. But by the time they get through the court-martial, the competency hearing for Kirk, Spock is too far gone to take command, so the Commodore does. But the problem is he's never commanded a starship. He's only commanded at space stations, and so he doesn't know what to do. And wouldn't you know it, they got to go through the neutral zone to get to the starbase, I guess, faster or whatnot. Of course, the Romulans show up and start shooting at him. And the guy doesn't know what to do, but fortunately they had the cure ready to go. Kirk shows up all young again, takes command, pulls a little sleight of hand, which he borrowed from a previous episode of the Corbomite maneuver, does it again. Apparently, the Romulans did not watch that episode. They fall for it, and the Enterprise escapes. Well, what's the problem here? Although they probably, with some sort of radiation sickness, they might have been able to stop the process of aging with some sort of cure and treat some of the symptoms, but for the most part, I think the damage would be done. So this is a bit of a miracle cure. Now later on, and when I get to the animated series, they actually had a better solution, which is something that should have come up a lot when it comes to the transporter, which is the power of God. So their original young patterns are still stored in there, so you just go back and reset it. And the molecules are rearranged. Now, I always wondered, I guess the memory of the few days they spent with that disease would probably be wiped away, since they would be reset to where they were before they beamed down. I don't know. Would have been an interesting thing. They did it in one of the episodes where, again, they all began to age. Their life was being sapped away by these sort of vampire women or whatnot. We'll get to it when we get to it. But anyway, they had a better solution there, and but it also opens up the obvious. One of the ginormous plot holes of Star Trek is, man, you could do anything with that. But yeah, whatever. But so they cure it with this treatment for radiation that they discovered was an old treatment that they used to have way back when. They abandoned it for a new treatment, but it doesn't affect their current state. So this old one works as it's a derivative of adrenaline. They discovered this because Chekhov never ages. as the rest of them do. So he seemed to be not affected by whatever they were being infected by. And it's because he was filled with adrenaline, so it fought off the effects at the time because he was startled and scared by having stumbled into the dead body. So, yeah, that works out okay, even though it's science fiction and it's weird stuff happens. They've had godlike aliens how many times? So, what the hell? You just go with it. The performances, of course, it gets to be comical, but it doesn't mean to be, and it's rather sad and stuff like that about, they all know everybody's trying to cover up for Kirk, but they shouldn't and they can't, and all that stuff. There's also this, I don't guess I could say quite disturbing, but, of course, the episode features yet another old girlfriend of Kirk's. They keep showing up, don't they? So apparently this was a woman. I don't know when he knew her or what. I guess I'd go back and see if they specify exactly, but some time ago. And she ended up, they broke it off for whatever reason, probably. It's Kirk, and she married some other guy. Well, it turns out the guy she married was 26 years her senior. And he's since died, so there's this little flirtation between the two. Oh, yeah, you have a chance. But then Kirk suspects she's now only interested in him because now he seems much older, and that's what she's into. And it seems to be the case. She's like, well, it just happened that way. I mean, we were working together and we were alone and one thing led to another, and that's how the marriage happened. But, yeah, you got to wonder, that scientist, he was like, oh, I'm going to need to hire an assistant. Well, let's see the likely candidates. Whoa, check her out, huh? Yeah, well, she's just out of school. I don't know. She's not all that experienced. Don't worry. I'll take care of that. And there you go. We'll be alone, working together. Oh, for a long time. Oh, yeah, long hours, yes. Alone on this, asteroid or whatever it was. So, yeah, that's probably what happened there. But still, yeah, she seems to have a thing for, yeah. So, yeah. Wasn't that an interesting aspect of it? But we also got the details of you can be trained to be a starship captain, or you can be trained to be a captain or commander of a space station, which is very different. It doesn't move that much, and the qualifications for it are different, and you wouldn't know how to handle yourself with other ships shooting at you in the neutral zone. So, and the guy is like, they warn him, Chekhov and Sulu, probably, even though they didn't have the rank, Sulu probably could have done the job, but that guy's like, I don't know what to do. It's so embarrassing. Well, what are you going to do, huh? So, yeah, the deadly years. Which refers to your twilight years. Yeah. In case you didn't realize this, yeah, it's gonna happen. But, yeah, you make of it what you will. Have some fun, try to do that on the way, and eventually, yeah, there's no magical cure, there's no transporter room. But even if there was, you'd have to do it all over again, But, so anyway, yeah, a significant episode? I don't know, but it certainly is one I'm always going to remember, the scenes of it and all that. And, I consider it one of the good ones, even though it's, it's got some problems. But, yeah, hey, look, it's, again, classic Star Trek, so, it's good.
All right. Thank you for watching and listening. Why not like and subscribe and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores and have plenty of goodies for you. Hats, mugs, stickers, posters, all that goody stuff. Plus, you can head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book Night Night. Oh, yeah. Plus, you can also catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on my channel at BitChute. That's the Mr Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.